Well, it's been almost a month since my last update, maybe a little more than a month. In fact, my last update, I didn't talk much. It was just a little brief update as to the Sylvain road trip that we went on. Well, there were some problems on that trip, and I got home a little bit frustrated. The engine was jerking and hesitating. I could have sworn it was an intake leak, something I'd been battling since Boise a few months earlier. I jumped headlong into it, took the intake all apart, refreshed everything from the gaskets around the injectors to the cold air intake hoses and whatnot. And after I put it all back together, it still didn't quite run right. Turns out what the problem was, well, it was a bad wire at the throttle position sensor, the TPS sensor. So had I plugged the computer into it, I would have found that out in a heartbeat. Instead, I fought for 2 months. Let that be a lesson to someone out there. Other challenges that I've had to take care of, the speedometer. It has firmware in it that sometimes decided to go into setup mode. Getting a hold of Classic Instruments, they admitted that it was their fault. They sent me a replacement, which still had the same fault. So they sent me a third replacement, and now it works well. Okay, so I also had an amplifier, an older amplifier that I'd put in the car that lost 2 of its 4 channels, so I had to put another amplifier in. Yeah, that's probably about it. So, other changes. People at Sylvain commented how ugly my radiator hoses were. Well, I just barely put that radiator in a few weeks prior to the trip. I now have some pretty radiator hoses. There's my beautiful intake, a lot cleaner and better than it was before, but that wasn't the problem. The real problem was just outside this connector there were some wires that were compromised, but they were compromised inside of the sleeve. You wouldn't have seen it. I was able to break it with my fingernail. So that caused me all sorts of grief. As you can imagine, the computer telling the engine to do one thing and the engine trying to do something else. So what else has been done? I put in a new heater blower, a new little cage for it. I fabricated some flaps for the vents, and those are all working well. Trying to think, is there anything else? Minor cosmetic details, but that's pretty much it. Oh, I guess there was one more thing. On the way back, we ran into some rain. You might have seen it in my previous video. Turns out that my wipers were a little bit too high. Now I put them maybe too low, but I don't care. They're safer there. If you look here, I have 2 scratches. I'll call those battle scars. I will wear them with pride. And I am not in the least bit concerned about that. So I have since then adjusted my wipers and feel better about them. But if you look closely, you'll see that it's these little cleats, that it's a little floppy here, and in the high speed 80 miles an hour in the wind, it would come all the way up here and kind of go sideways and scratch the windshield, something I couldn't know about when you're hearing all the noises of the road. So there it is, what is likely my final update on this 2.5-year journey. 1967 Datsun Sport 1600 Resto-Mod completed, and now it's ready for a 3,000-mile trip and hopefully many years of enjoyment. Thank you for all your support and kind words. It's been a great journey, and I look forward to meeting many of you in person. And don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you, and you all have a wonderful, blessed year.